San Francisco 49ers, man, they went out bad, man. Look at me. Look at me. I just got in from the airport. I had to walk around the airport like this, incognito mode, hoping nobody recognizes me because of the 49ers. And I'm blaming the offense. We're going to get into all that and more right here on the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. And I ain't taking these shades off. Let's go.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Crocker. Over midfield, he'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And as you can see, like I said already, man, I am incognito mode. Like, I just hope nobody recognizes me. I'm hoping nobody recognizes me on the stream. Golly. Let's talk about some positives first. Let's talk about some positives. And I'm going to try to, always try to find a little positives. And the positive from this weekend, from this game, I was in Atlanta, was all the love, all the support from all the 49er fans. Like, that's the positive. Outside of that, there ain't too much to be positive about from that performance that the 49ers put on. Aside from maybe, Jimmy Garoppolo threw for a lot of yards. But we're going to talk about all that, man. We're going to talk about all that. I'm feeling some type of way, y'all. I'm feeling some type of way. And I think I need the mental health check. I see the flames coming in. I see everybody feeling good. I'm not feeling good this morning. I don't know if I should say morning because I did get a message before we went live. Somebody said 1 p.m. isn't exactly morning anymore. Can't wait for the film. My guy Womack looked like a rookie. He is going to get sauced in the film, still behind the young buck, but now I see why 38 plays more. We're going to see. And when you're at the game and you're watching it live, those are things I can't tell. Like, I could see plays develop, and I see kind of where the ball goes, but it was kind of hard to tell exactly what was going on. All right, but as far as it not being the morning, hey, man, a lot of the people listening in right now are Pacific time. And Pacific time, 11 a.m., that's still the morning, right? That's still the morning. The tailgate was dope. It was, man. I thought the tailgate was dope. Shout out to everybody that showed up. My boy Chapman had a really good event Saturday evening and also Sunday morning. I thought it was dope. It was like all you can eat food and all that stuff, man. They had prizes. They played games. Like, I thought it was real cool, real chill. At the tailgate, some fans asked me and said, Croc, what do you think about this game? And it's something that, people that tune into this show, y'all heard kind of the thing I was worried about, right? Like, the thing I was worried about most. And can anybody in this chat right now tell me what was the thing I brought up? And I think I brought it up with Chapman coming on. Now we got to go back, right? Because I think I flew out to Atlanta on Thursday. So we got to go back to Wednesday's episode. I was a little worried about something. All right. I'll just say it. I was worried that, and Mike, not beating themselves, it was the 49ers have a lot of injuries to the defense. Can the offense pick the defense up? Because what has everybody, when they talk about the 49ers right now, what is it? The 49ers got the best defense in the league. 49ers have the number one defense in the league. And I think it took number one defense in the league to win 3 games. Like if there was any kind of drop off from there, are the 49ers currently 3-3? I don't know, because I think even in the other 2 games, the defense played lights out. So I'm looking at it, I'm just like, man, can the offense pick them up? And I hadn't seen it yet. We saw a glimpse of it against Carolina, but even then, 2 of those touchdowns I accredited to the defense. Obviously, the pick 6, and then the defensive stop late in the game where they got the ball on like the 2-yard line. So, can the offense pick up a defense that's hurt? They're hurting. I'm getting text messages from my buddies, and they're like, number one defense. I don't see it. This ain't the number one defense. Bro, no, that's not the number one defense out there right now. It's not the number one defense when you're missing Bosa, Armstead, Kinlock, he contributes. All right. Ebby Cam is hurt. He's trying to thug through the game. I was able to see him. I saw him trying to thug through it. Jimmy Ward, Azeez Al-Shaair, just injuries, Emmanuel Mosley, and then Travarius Ward. Like, no, that is not the number one defense out there. I don't know what defense that is, but if it's not the number one defense out there, then the offense has to help. Offense, you have to carry this defense. They are down. Carry the defense like they carry you when you are down. And I just did not see it. See some people in the chat right now and they're saying, man, 0 points in the second half. 0 points, man, that's inexcusable. That is inexcusable. All right? That's inexcusable. We will get to Jimmy Garoppolo. We'll get to the team. We'll get to the offense. We're going to get to all that. But I do want to answer this from my guy, Clear Young, and he says, Croc, I was told Jimmy can't throw outside the numbers. Listen, all NFL players can throw outside the numbers. All right? Now, if you want to say what is a strength of Jimmy Garoppolo's, is it throwing outside the numbers? The answer to that is no. And that's more so on him just with the feet and stuff. There were some throws. I saw him throw one over the middle where he's looking left and he don't even move his feet and he throws it right? Like he feels comfortable snapping off those passes in that intermediate range. But on some of the throws where he has to really drive the ball, he does the same thing and doesn't get as much muster on it. So he kind of stays away from certain throws like that. And that's fine. It's just not a strength of his throwing outside the numbers. But there's not, it's like, if you see him make a throw outside the number, like, yeah, he is an NFL quarterback. He's a starting NFL quarterback in like his 9th year. Of course he can make a throw outside the numbers, but that is not a strength of his. It's not. And that's fine. He has other strengths. And I liked how he was pushing the ball down the field. All right. But we're going to get to Jimmy. We're going to get to this offense. But I gotta stick on the offense in the sense of you gotta help. And now I have given a lot of passes to, should I say passes? Naturally, I give people the benefit of the doubt. All right. Naturally, I give people the benefit of the doubt. Like with everything. I always see the best in everyone. I always see the best in people. I always see the best in situations. So as it pertains to Kyle Shanahan, I see the best in him. Right? I see the Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator. What he was doing. I see how people view him. And some of the things he does is like, man, I could see that. But this is the first year where I started to kind of, really actually last year, because I felt like the plan with Trey Lance, to me it was kind of, I want to say stupid, I don't want to disrespect them. They get paid a lot of money for these things. I would have went about things a different way. All right? But they know more about this stuff than me. But I'm watching this year, and I'm looking at the offense, and we've talked about it. And I don't want to be beat a dead horse. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I just want to, hey, listen, I usually come on here and I'm very even keel. I'm very level-headed. And I let y'all come on and y'all vent and y'all do all that. So right now I'm venting, okay? And again, if you're like, why Croc, why are you like this? Listen, I had to walk through the airport like this because I didn't want 49er fans to notice me. I didn't want to talk about it. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed by the loss. I didn't want to talk about it. So I walked through the airport with a hoodie on and do-rag and shades and all type of stuff with my head down. All right. Unfortunate loss. Anyways, Kyle, they say that you are the genius. And I will say this. It's not that Kyle's scheme doesn't work. I do see guys open. All right. Like there are guys open, there are routes that open, the combinations, like the stuff like that, it works, but the execution is lacking, and you can't have poor execution every single fucking game. That's what you can't have. That's what you can't have. You can't have that lack of execution pretty much every game. And that's what I'm seeing from the guy. Like, again, your quarterback, whatever. I don't care. I just saw highlights and scores and stuff, but I did see last week. Bailey Zappi with the New England Patriots, they're scoring points. The quarterback is efficient. They're moving the rock. Who is New England Patriots offensive coordinator? Who is it? It's Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is getting a higher level of efficiency with the weapons that everybody, they're not great weapons and whatnot in New England. Well, look, you maybe they don't have a George Kittle, a Debo Samuel, a Brandon Ayuk, and Kyle Juszczyk and all that. But so Jimmy Garoppolo, why are they scoring so many points? Why are they able to get such high level efficiency out of their quarterback? Why can't the 49ers? So now I'm just starting to ask these questions because I'm just curious. And I don't know the answer to it. But I do know this. I watch football every week. And I watch a lot of football. I watch a lot. And it is very interesting to me that the guy who has a lot, like he's supposed to be this and that, I'm watching these other coordinators and they're getting more out of less. And that's the part, it's a little weird. So maybe one game, it's a one-off. And maybe if you had Trey Lance right here, you'd be like, well, okay, first time playing, whatever, you could use that excuse. But Jimmy Garoppolo's been with you for a really long time. And I don't know, to me, it's starting to look a little, I'm starting to question Kyle Shanahan. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too hard on him. Now, I'm not saying fire him. But again, that's me saying, don't go that far. Don't go for that. Part of it is me just, not trying to be super dramatic. And y'all know I'm not a very dramatic guy, even though I'm being very dramatic right now. But I'm not going to say file Kyle Shanahan. And again, that's me trying to see the best in everybody. And I feel like he does a really good job. I've talked so much about how well coached this team is. I mean, I've talked so much about, man, this is a very well coached team. Defense, whatever happens, is whatever. You're missing 6-7 guys. So, and I went into the game saying, hey, man, there's a drop-off, which there can be because you're missing so many starters on defense. You're missing your big dogs. The offense has to pick you up, and they weren't capable of doing that. They weren't capable of doing that. Are we overvaluing our offensive playmakers? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think our offensive playmakers make plays. I think our offensive playmakers made plays yesterday. I talked about Brandon Ayuk. Man, want to see him win versus man coverage a little more. He won versus man coverage. He's whooping guys. Debo Samuel, he looked like a star. When they put the ball in Debo's hands, I was like, that's a star. George Kittle, he looked good. So I don't think we're overvaluing the 49ers offensive playmakers. Kyle Juszczyk, when they threw in the ball, he looked good. Right? I mean, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like the guys are there. Kyle was 0-24 when entering the fourth quarter down 7. And I think it wasn't even, I don't even think it was down 7. It was like down 4 or more or something like that. That's another, I mean, listen, I don't know. I just saw that today. One of my homies retweeted, then randomly I'm scrolling through my my Twitter timeline, I see the same thing. You also said Ayuk couldn't create separation. I said I would like to see him create more separation versus man coverage. And I tell you what, he's found his niche on that damn whip route. He's created separation on that. Croc, what's the impact of Kyle overhauling the offense for Trey and having to shoehorn Jimmy back in? That's a great question. And I don't know. I do know this. These guys have played together. The passing concepts for Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo are not much different. Now, maybe with how he calls plays, and I think definitely how they see the field is different, but the concept, I see a lot of these concepts that are very similar. So I don't think that's an excuse. Now, how, getting everybody else ready, how to call plays, et cetera, that can change. I don't know how much more that changes in the sense of like the actual plays. I don't know. But I will say this. All right, now let's start to kind of get to the actual game. I thought Jimmy Garoppolo played well. Okay, hold on, let me get to this. My guy Nana by Nature. He says, what's your thoughts on trading Kittle and getting O-line help? You know, the crazy thing is, I think the offensive line was good yesterday. I was watching the O-line, and there was one play where I felt like Jimmy had so much, and I'm not dogging Jimmy. I think we know, right? Jimmy likes to play in timing and rhythm. We know that, right? So this is not me dogging Jimmy Garoppolo. I want to make that clear. But there was this one play where Jimmy had so much time, he started to panic because he's like, why do I have so much time? Right? And it was like, nobody's open. Okay, wait, who's open? Okay, I'm waiting. And then he was like, And then he just like did this random throw. All right. So, and it was incomplete. If you go back to like the first drive, it might have been the first third down of the game where it was like, hell, like, you know, the offensive line played well, I thought, throughout the game, especially for a team that ended up having to play without McGlinchey, that ended up having to play, obviously, without Trent Williams. You know, you're replacing a lot of guys. Like, yeah, dude, the offensive line, I thought they played well. All right. But let's get back to Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's very clear to me, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, people have different perspective, but I think we know what Jimmy is, right? Jimmy likes to play with timing and rhythm. We know where Jimmy likes to throw the ball, like to that short, immediate, over the middle. We do know, and people act like he's never made throws downfield. He can't make throws downfield. Now, is that his where he's really comfortable and just letting it rip? Probably not, but he can. Like, he can make throws down the field. And we also know that Jimmy isn't one to do a whole lot of creating off script, out of structure, because he likes to play with such timing and rhythm. All right. So, knowing those things with Jimmy Garoppolo not being the explosive passer, not being those things, when the opportunities present itself, all right, you have to take advantage of it. You have to. So when I watch Jimmy Garoppolo throw the ball downfield to Ray McCloud, you have to come down with that ball. When I watch him throw the seam route to Charlie Warner, you have to come down with that throw, with that pass. When I watch him throw the ball downfield to Brandon Ayuk, it was a dime. It was a beautiful throw. You can't have holding or illegal man downfield or whatever the hell they call it. Because I know one thing. Jimmy is not one of these other quarterbacks where if when he does something good, like, capitalize on that. Because it's hard for him to come back from those things and overcome it. You know, that's not really his thing, which is fine. We know what he is. And I thought he played well enough. There was the interception before the half, whatever. I don't care about that. I liked him throwing the ball down the field, trying to get the guy out of bounds, whatever. The other interception, he throws his interceptions to Deebo Samuel. I don't know. Like, he's throwing. I feel like every time it's either nearly intercepted or intercepted, it's like I'm throwing the Deebo Samuel. Matter of fact, the two, and I'm not blaming him for the one before the half, but he was throwing Deebo Samuel. The other interception, throwing the Deebo Samuel. Against the Panthers, when he was throwing over the middle and it hit the safety in the chest, throwing the Deebo Samuel. The interception against the Broncos, throwing the Deebo Samuel. And I'm not saying don't stop throwing the Deebo Samuel. There's just, I don't know. It's like, why is the ball in such harm's way? Why? But I thought Jimmy played well enough to win. I think everybody also knows that my expectations, where I need Jimmy to play, it's not high. Like, I don't expect Jimmy to go out and look like Mahomes or Josh Allen and do like some of those things like that. That's never, it's not even a thought. So when he does make these throws downfield, when he does throw the seam route, when he does throw that ball to Brandon Ayuk, you have to execute it. You got to execute it. So y'all can't drop these passes because we don't know how many. Like, I saw Josh Allen do some crazy stuff, right? He like was gonna run and then I'm not gonna run, then I'm gonna pitch it, then he pitches it, hits the guy in the chest, right? To turn the ball over, right? Whatever. Well, it doesn't matter because guess what he's gonna do? Foo, 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 foo. Right? Just big throw, big throw, big throw, big throw, big throw. Right? So it doesn't matter. You can get a drop. Somebody could drop a pass from Josh Allen. It's not gonna matter. You know why? Because boop, 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 he's gonna come right back. So, that's not really Jimmy, which is fine. We know that. If it was, everybody be lined up to get Jimmy Garoppolo. But you have those opportunities, you gotta take advantage of it. Gotta take advantage of it. Gotta take advantage of it. Whoo-wee. Imagine Trey is 3-3 against the same teams. Offense averaging 20 points a game, ranked 19th in scoring with this roster. There would be a lot of things being said. I think we know exactly what would be said. He's not ready. He's not this and that. Now, the one thing I will say about this is Kyle Shanahan picked Trey Lance to be his quarterback, and he's hurt. So, Jimmy is the backup plan. Now, everybody else in the media and all these other people, they might say, oh, Jimmy gives you the best chance to win. No, y'all just more comfortable with what you knew from him, which me included. You just knew, okay, there's a certain level. I know what I'm going to get from him. Damn, when things ain't good enough around him, it can get a little weird. And he threw for a lot of yards, so I think people might mistake that for, but it's nah, I looked at some throws, and I'm like, good throw. That's a good throw. Okay, those are good things, and he didn't get it. He didn't get it. It's tough. It's tough. That was a tough loss. And it was tough kind of being there. I'm going to put the link in the chat. So anybody that wants to come on live, feel free. Yeah, I just got off a plane. I drive an hour and a half home from the airport. And I said, I'm going to go talk to my people. I didn't want to wait till tomorrow. We're going to talk about it today. But the defense, and I heard Brian Baldinger talking about the defense. And he's like, oh, they didn't look like they were ready to play. They didn't look like this and that. Those guys that were out there, that's out of there. It's like I'm losing. Oh, look, Warriors. Okay, we got Warrior fans in here. It's like not having Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and then being like, all right, we're still gonna function and be as efficient the same way. No. So now, NBA, NFL is different, but in that instance, then you need the one end to pick up the other side, right? To pick up the slack, and you didn't get that. Now I see my guy Bam Retief. We need Rodgers. Do you want the Rodgers that scored 10 points and lost to the New York Jets yesterday? Is that the Rodgers you want? See, people just be talking. Stop talking. Nobody's coming to save you right now. And it ain't Aaron Rodgers who just scored 10 points against the New York Jets. All right? It ain't Aaron Rodgers that just scored 10 points against the New York Jets. Is that how many points he scored? How many points did he score? Who'd they lose to last week? You want the Aaron Rodgers that just lost to the New York Giants. They lost to the New York Giants and then the New York Jets. Now, Giants, it just so happens, maybe they're just good. I don't know. They just keep winning. They came back and won. I think would they beat Baltimore? But I think we just say, no. Figure it out, Kyle. There's enough here. There's enough here with the 49ers right now. There's enough offensive weaponry. There's enough, weapons. The offensive line is playing well enough. Figure it out. Figure it out. Here we go. All right. Mr. Dev, how you doing? Good morning. Or afternoon. I don't even know where, what's up? Uh-oh, Dev. I think we lost you. All right, we're gonna bring Devin back. We can't hear him right now. All right, here we go. We got Medic Mike. Medic Mike, good morning, man. How you doing?
About the same as you, Croc.
Why? Listen, I'm sorry. We gotta stop making Rodgers ain't got the same supporting cast. I think he be. I know people tell me he's trolling, but I don't think he's trolling right now. I think he's like, and I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be back. I got a text message from my boy Greg Pinelli. Greg Pinelli says, Aaron Rodgers next year, book it. And yeah, okay, cool, whatever. But my thing is, like, bro, Kyle, figure it out, because these other teams are figuring out whoever they have. Like, why do you need Aaron Rodgers? And I don't think you need Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell you what he does need. He needs his defense to be the best defense ever. Like, that's what he needs. And then you don't care if you don't have Rodgers, because you beat them in the playoffs the last 2 times you've been there. But go ahead. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, there was so much wrong, and this falls right at Kyle's feet. This was not Jimmy's fault, this game. This was not on Jimmy. I thought objectively he probably played his best game. One thing I didn't like on the rewatch, like, Jimmy has absolutely no sense of the moment. And obviously neither does Kyle, because I was infuriated when we had an 8-minute drive down 2 scores in the fourth quarter and came up with 0 points. What are you doing? Why are you going down to 8, 7, 6 seconds on the play clock every play? Like, do you not know what this is? You're down 14. It's the fourth quarter. Like that fourth quarter stat I posted earlier, that's ridiculous. 0-24 when you're down at least 7 going into the fourth. You have no ability to overcome a deficit. You've shown none. I mean, it's ridiculous. And so, on top of that, when it comes down to execution and players executing, being disciplined, we lost week 1 because of discipline issues. 12 penalties for 100 yards. We lost this week, I'd say, because of execution and bad coaching. At the end of the day, that comes down to your coach. If you draw up plays for players who can't execute, you either make bad personnel decisions or it's bad play calling. If your players are committing penalties, they're undisciplined. Like, I think what a lot of people don't understand is at the end of the day, this all comes down to your coach. It's like, oh, well, Kyle didn't drop the ball. No, but did he vouch for McLeod and want him in the offseason? He did. He's added nothing in the return game. He's added nothing as a receiver. I'm not impressed at all. Why are you calling up plays for Charlie Warner? Why aren't you lining up your Swiss Army knife Juice, who you paid that money to, as a second tight end? Juice can do it all. Why do you not realize that Jimmy's obviously more comfortable in the gun? You need to revamp your offense. You can have Juice play fullback. He can play tight end. He can do all of that. Why are you dialing up a play for Charlie Warner and then surprised when he drops the ball? That comes back to you as a coach, either not knowing your personnel or not having personnel that can execute. So, I mean, I used to defend Kyle, but at this point, your defense has carried you for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years. Yeah. Where are we at? So, I mean, if you can't get it done, there's a point where all your goodwill, all your family name, that's all used up. That's all used up. I don't have faith that you can develop a young quarterback. I saw what you were doing with Lance, and I think it was well established that he was one of the smartest quarterbacks coming out. I saw how he was playing. I remember the first game before the monsoon, he was 8 of 12 for 120 yards. So, I mean, it's people talk about he's inaccurate, he's this, that. I didn't see it. And so then you want to run him 200 plus times like a bell cow back. Now he's hurt. Like, I have disagreed with pretty much every decision you've made up to this point. And now you're 3-3 because you can't win against bad teams that you obviously have a better roster than. Right. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I mean, it's frustrating.
It is. I'm going to get to the next caller, man. I appreciate you coming on, Medic Mike.
Thanks. Like and subscribe, y'all. Appreciate it, Croc.
All right, shout out to my guy, Medic Mike. I just started a few comments here. I'll get to those, and then I'm going to get to the callers. I got a few callers lined up right now. All right, so where do I start? Let's start with this guy. The Ramila guy. All right, Ramilia. Here's a good question. After 6 years into Kyle Shanahan's tenure, what excuses haven't been used by Kyle's incompetence as we speak, still under 500 as coach? I'll say this, and maybe, Rams, you can pound your chest, you guys want. Kyle kicks your ass. So when you talk about figuring it out, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, Kyle figured it out. Well, he figures it out versus you. So I'll sit up here and I'll take Kyle bashing from Bears fans, from Broncos fans, from who we just lose to? Atlanta Falcons fans, but not Rams fans. We just kicked y'all ass. Was it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Kicked y'all ass. And then, guess what? I'm going to be in the house when we go to LA. I'll be at the game. And guess what we're going to do again? Kick y'all ass again. We kick your ass. So I'll take this from anybody else. I'm not taking it from you. All right. So anybody else, Bears, Falcons, y'all people want to come in here, y'all want to talk, whatever, feel free. Y'all know I'll bring y'all up here, whatever. Rams fans, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. The good win against the Panthers yesterday. All right, Kelvin Croc, people say the same thing about Brady. I don't think Rodgers is washed. I don't think he's cooked. I just think it's this, all right? And everybody keeps bringing up Rodgers. Croc, Rodgers, with our skill set, this is what it reminds me of, all right? And I'm going to get a little X-rated here. This is what it reminds me of. Croc, Rodgers, with our skill set. I feel like it's like you want, like, everything's got to be perfect, right? So, it's like, I want the 10-inch penis, right? You want the 10-inch penis. Well, of course, everybody wants 10-inch penis. Yeah, but you don't got a 10-inch penis. So whatever penis you got to work with that. And you got to make it work. And you figure it out, right? Right? I don't got a 10-inch penis, although. Whatever you got to work with that. And you figure it out. And you become the best version with that. So, Kyle, just figure it out with the guys that you have in-house right now. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, of course, I hear you. But he ain't on the Niners. Who's on the Niners? You got Jimmy Garoppolo. So figure it out with Jimmy G. Because that's what you got to work with. All right? Kenny, what's good, man? Good morning, bro. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Croc. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Chilling.
Well, it's 2:00 where I'm at, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the evening. I mean,
so
afternoon.
I just want to say, when you play, like, I want to know what type of, like, practice formula that they're using, because these injuries, it's getting really ridiculous. How is it that Jerick McKinnon, when he come here, he got injured, right?
Yeah.
Now that he's playing for the Chiefs, the guy's staying on the field. Like, what is up with that?
Yeah. And they actually have like a specific role for him. He comes in, they're gonna give him his touches, they throw the ball to him. Like, he's actually out there. And it's not for 60 snaps a game, but I'd say he probably gets around 10 to 12 snaps a game. And they use him in that role. I think they've done a good job.
Yeah,
not anything crazy. It's not anything earth-shattering, but there are some games where obviously his production is a little bit better. But what he is, which is essentially kind of their third back, I think they do a good job with that.
I like, because we fired the training staff, hired another one, still the injuries. Like, are they even hitting that practice or anything like that?
I think that is a problem probably around the league. Again, now with the injuries, I don't know, because heading into the game against the Falcons, 49ers were the most injured team in the NFL. I saw that going around. They were last in the NFL.
Yeah, they done created this new stat called bust. You seen that? Like,
that's what I'm talking about.
Ranking?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, because if they not hitting up high practice, like, you know what I'm saying, to avoid injuries, like, how can you expect your guys to be healthy going hard for 460 minutes in a real game and expect them to stay healthy?
That's a great question. That is a great question. And
I mean, because, like, when you play, like, when you was in the Jets training camp, like, did y'all continuously hit up high, or
no?
Y'all didn't.
Now, we did have certain live periods. It was live, like, goal line. That was really kind of the only. Now, everything else was thud, but a lot of guys. I mean, even then, it's not like you're just gonna go heads up with people.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to like get your perspective on that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I wanted to know.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming on, Kenny.
All right, thanks for having me on, Croc.
All I see the chat. People like, Crocky went X-rated. Am I not lying? Y'all let me know if I'm lying. But that's what it reminds me of. Like, it's like you want the most perfect thing for, and it's like, no, bro, like, you got to work with what you got, and figure out how to make the most out of that. Okay, another example. Cornerback. I was 6'2" corner, close to 200 pounds, and I wasn't very fast. Like, I wasn't a 4'4" guy. So I had to figure out, and obviously, I mean, shoot, it might be why I haven't played longer in the NFL or, have like this NFL career, but I had to figure out how to play the cornerback position while I'm not the fastest guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. When I look at it like that and I hear Roger, and it's like, dude, that's what you need, like, for you to be able, like, you've beat him. You beat him. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't want Rodgers. Like, if somebody was like, 49ers trade for Aaron Rodgers right now, I'd be like, Super Bowl, right? But that's not what you have right now. So you got to figure it out with what you have. And we have seen this offense be better with these guys. So maybe it is just a matter of rusty. Maybe. I don't know. Did Gray or Mason play? Gray did not play. He didn't suit up. He was injured, if I'm not mistaken, or either injured or a healthy scratch, but he didn't suit up. Mason played because I saw him on special teams, but he didn't get carries. I think he doesn't get carries because he wears one glove. And it's like, bro, you can wear one glove and then one hand with tape, one glove hand and tape hand. And I'm like, they probably think his swag is hella nasty. So they're just like, bro, we're not just going to put you in. I'm joking, but kind of joking, but not joking. But yeah. All right, here we go. I got Damon coming on. Damon, good afternoon. Damon.
My back.
Oh, there, yeah. You're a little in and out, but yeah, I got you.
I did like 5 bars, like about half back.
Oh no! Oh, hold on. It sound like you're in the Matrix. It sound like the Matrix.
I hear this. Everything you're saying, like a minute later, like in the background.
All right. We're gonna have to cut out. If you get into a better area, we're gonna bring you back on. Cause I know you're driving right now. All right, we're gonna try to get Damon back on. Here we go. We got Miguel coming on. Miguel, good morning. How you doing?
What's going on, Crockett? What's going on now?
Oh man, I'm cool. I think talking with y'all has kind of helped me, like, just a little. Like, I'm still, you know what I'm saying? I'm still up here, but I'm coming down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that loss was atrocious. But let's be honest, Crock. Let's be honest. That loss was. You do realize that we are the most injured team in the league right now.
Yeah.
We have the most injuries. Our whole offensive line, backups, and I mean, all of these guys are NFL players. Let's not, demonize anything like that. But we don't have our strongest offense out there on the field. Just because we got Ayuk and Kittle and Debo and even Jimmy. I'm not a Jimmy lover. I'm not a Jimmy. Hey, I love my team.
Yeah.
I don't care who the players are. I'm always going to root for my team, right? And Jimmy's a good quarterback. Let's not demoralize him and demonize him and say he's not a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. But as you see, Aaron Rodgers, you just talked about it. I mean, is that the Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, whatever his name is, over there in Green Bay? He's supposed to be elite, 10 points. So no. I mean, there's not one of them cats out there that will not have a bad day. There's not one of them cats out there that will not have fan bases across the globe that are like, oh, get rid of them. We love them. We hate them. Whatever. These are people. Let's not put so much onto them like they're gods and supreme entities that they don't have flaws. They have flaws and they have shortcomings and they're not all amazing and they're not all great. Kyle Shanahan, the thing that I don't like about him is, where's your offensive guru-ness? Where is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Like the other guy said, we've been carried by our defense for the last 10 years. And this is a fact. Our defense, we have sparks that we be all like, oh my God, this offense can be great. That Panthers game years ago, we put up a 50-burger. But how many times do we see that? How many times?
And not even just 50, but I would say, how many times has Kyle scored more than 35?
Exactly. So I don't see the offensive geniusness. I I see that Kyle has an ability to, if he had all stars, of course, whatever he puts in the implements would be disastrous for anybody.
Right.
But I mean, who couldn't? Who would? I mean, look at Mahomes and them over there. I mean, you got Mahomes, you got Kelsey, you got a healthy offensive line. But I digress. What I saw was execution. What I saw was execution. Uh, uh, and I also saw a couple of things on the refereeing side of the game that really impacted us. That holding call, that was not a hold. Clearly, he got bull rushed. He fell down. He didn't grab his jersey. He didn't pull him
Yeah.
down. The other guy tripped over and fell down. Here, that we were driving, and I really, truly, honestly believe that was a drive with the momentum that we had going right there. That took it all away. That call took it all away.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that
the
was tough.
three
I knew at the time too. I was like, man, that's a tough
that
one.
killed us. That killed us. Whatever we had at that particular moment going, that drive was completely stalled, and that took us out the game. You could just see it from the energy from the players and the team. It deflated. The whole thing imploded on us at that moment. But those 3 deep passes, Jimmy don't throw it deep. Those were 3 very great passes by Jimmy. Were they perfect? No. But were they catchable? Very much so. Ray McLeod, he slowed down on the beginning of his route. Then he took off. If he hadn't have took that little stutter step, that's catch, home run, touchdown. I mean, he had at least a good 2, 3, 4 foot gap between the defender. He would have caught that ball. If he had caught that ball, he could have took that on into the house. That's 7 points. Or at the very least, all 3 of those deep passes put us close to, if not in field goal range. If we get at least 1 touchdown and 2 field goals, that's 16 points? 16 with the 14, that's 30. We win the game, right? So this is about execution. There's no blame to go around. Ain't nobody out here planning to get injured. Ain't nobody writing up plays for people to get themselves injured. But where we are now, I mean, no, we're not going to beat teams like Atlanta. They ran all over us. We had no defense against the run.
So real quick, Miguel, how are you feeling about the game this Sunday against the Chiefs?
Any given Sunday, right?
Yeah.
The sun shines on the dog's back all the time, right? So, I mean, it's never just a concrete. I mean, I honestly felt like I even put my little $5 on, right? I'm all like, oh yeah, we'll beat them. We should be able to hold up. And from those 2 drives that we had, man, that we was looking real good and got those 2 touchdowns to Brandon Ayuk, I thought if we could just do that, the defense was okay. It wasn't what we're used to. It was not stellar defense. Let's not. We got ran off. But I mean, all of our defensive linemen out. Our cornerbacks out. All we got is DBs, right?
Yeah.
So they can't do it all. And, they were overworked. You could see they were gassed. You remember saw Warner at one point, and I mean, you could just see his whole body up and down because he's gassed.
And I was at the game, so I couldn't see. There's some of that I couldn't see.
Right.
There were some things where I knew, like, okay, Debo Samuel, I can tell he's a little gas right here.
Right.
There was another player who my brother was like, hey, that dude right there. My brother's a Steeler fan, but he goes to the games with me. But he pointed, gosh, who was it? He said, man, that dude right there, he's gassed. And you can see, I think it was George Kittle.
Yeah.
I think there was a time where it looked like George Kittle was gassed. He's like, Kittle gassed.
I mean, gas, man. I mean, like my shirt said, make it make sense. The whole thing about it is, what are we going to do? What are we going to do when how many of our players are out? I mean, all of our starting line, offensive line, out. All of our starting defensive line, out. Cornerbacks, out. Yeah, when these people start coming back later, but for right now, we don't need to be just holding on to number one because we beat Seattle when we beat the Rams. We need, isn't that ironic, Crockett, that every year that we have the best looking prospect of really going deep into the playoffs, Super Bowl push, everybody's kind of like, oh, this is the team you don't want to see. We have a mountain downfall, just a momentous occurrences of injuries. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's some kind of curse or jinx on us. Because every time we have a great opportunity to really do something, all of a sudden this injury bug just creeps in and we just start falling apart. There's no explanation why. I mean, we have a makeshift offensive line, makeshift defensive line. This is the game is won there. That's where the game is won. Believe it or not, I don't care who you got there at quarterback. If they don't have no protection,
But see, I thought the protection was pretty good.
really, I mean, it was okay. It was
I thought
okay.
they were good. Like I thought for the most part, I thought they kept him pretty clean all game. Like, did Jimmy get sacked?
Twice. Jimmy took 2 sacks.
Okay.
But the run, what was the run? We had
Now the run
nothing
game,
on the run.
yeah, that wasn't there. You're right.
Nothing
And I
on
think
the run.
what we've seen so far early in this year is the 49ers typically, as it pertains to the rushing numbers, have a big run. I think the Panthers game was the first game where it was like a true, like, man, they just ran well all game. But outside of that, it was stagnant. Nice run and then stagnant for the rest of a game.
Right.
And this game, you just didn't have that nice run.
We didn't have, but I mean, if you look back, those 2-3
Jimmy,
yard runs.
they're saying Jimmy did not get sacked.
No, Jimmy had 2 sacks. I remember seeing that. Very well.
Jimmy did
Well,
get
maybe
sacked.
not.
No,
I don't
no
know.
sacks.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of another game, but I'm almost certain Jimmy took 2 sacks. I'm almost certain. But I mean, those even with the Falcons, they'd have a 2-yard run, 3-yard run, 4-yard run, then they'll break one for 7, 8, 9 yards or whatever. Those accrue up. Those they do, but we weren't getting that. We were getting 1, 2, maybe 4. There was never, and then we abandoned the run, so it was never a chance to actually get it going. But it was clear that the offense, we got no push on our runs. Our run game was out the window. It was done. It was horrible. We didn't have the protection. We weren't being able to utilize it. And when you have to go from what Kyle's format is, his format is the run first. When you have to abandon that, I mean, it wasn't. We really had no chance to use our identity. We had to become somebody else, and that's not going to work. You can't transform into a different identity. Bumblebee can't transform into Optimus Prime. He's Bumblebee, and he got to do what Bumblebee do. And so we didn't have our identity on the field, and our defense, we didn't have no identity. We were so lackluster, and like I said, man, I'm not making no excuses, but the truth is the truth. We can't win like this. And as far as next week, well, football gods be with us. Jesus Christ come down and play for us a couple of snaps. I mean, we're gonna need a prayer. We're gonna need a prayer. I mean, the thing is, what I'm hoping is if we can keep it close. If we can keep it close, then we'll have a chance. Because Jimmy is not a horrible quarterback. Those 2 picks he threw.
I agree.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I agree. I don't think he's a bad quarterback, and that's part of me kind of putting the blame on Kyle, who it's really weird because I think Kyle called a good game.
He did.
But it just the execution wasn't quite there. And that's the part where it's like, all right, who do I put it on or whatever? But maybe it's a bad game. But Miguel, I'm gonna get you out. I gotta get the next
Yes,
caller
sir. Yes,
on.
sir. I understand. Like, subscribe, y'all. Love
Yes,
your show,
sir.
man. Love y'all collab with all of you guys. Nothing but Niners. Uh, um, uh, Wayne Breezy, John
Yeah.
Chapman. I love what all you guys do. I watch our shows. And look, if y'all want some real content, these are the guys. This that circle right there I just mentioned. Get with them. Get with them because
Yes,
they gonna
sir.
give you the realest, and it's gonna be the most dynamic shows you can watch. So interactive. Man, love y'all. Keep it up, man.
Appreciate
And
you.
let's go Niners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Miguel. I just looked it up because there is a discrepancy going on in the chat with Jimmy Garoppolo and what he gave, or how many times was he sacked and whatnot. So let me zoom in here because there's a lot of different opinions on it in the chat. Jimmy Garoppolo was not sacked, so that's a really poor QBR. But anyways, Jimmy wasn't sacked. And I know a lot of people were saying there was a lot, like he wasn't sacked. And then I even saw somebody say, I was there. He was sacked. I was there too. I remember him getting sacked, but yeah, the stats show he was not sacked. Now, Mariota got sacked twice. So maybe that's where the confusion is, maybe. But Jimmy did not. Jimmy did not. All right, here we go. Got the I didn't even do that. Oh, there we go. All right, here we go. Last caller coming on. I got my guy Papa Dragon. Papa Dragon, good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. How you doing?
Afternoon, man. I'm in Nashville.
Okay, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, so you're Central Time Zone with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just wanted to place the blame on this game on porn star hating Marcus Mariota. That bastard played a great game.
He did.
He played a real good game. It's gonna be hard to beat a quarterback that plays that well in the NFL. It didn't throw his first incompletion to the fourth quarter. He was deadly accurate. Both those feet, they hit the ground. That ball came out tight spiral. A couple of big scrambles get them out of trouble. But yeah, you want to blame a quarterback, that's the quarterback you blame. You want to blame somebody on the 49ers, I agree with all the calls. Real good calls today. Overall, yeah, the 49ers have a leadership problem from the top. I've been saying this forever, that Kyle Shanahan is he is a void of leadership. And a big part of that is manifesting itself in the injuries. They are not prepared. If you face an NFL team and they're prepared and you're not, your chances of winning that game aren't good. We lost to the Bears, they were more prepared. We lost to the Falcons, they were more prepared. In fact, I picked against them. I said the score is going to be 21-17 Falcons, and people were like, why? Well, we're missing 7 defensive starters, an entire defensive line, and their running backs are 240 pounds, 240 pounds, 230 pounds, 220 pounds. And if you've noticed yesterday, when they ran the ball up the middle, they may have only ran for like 2-3 yards, but they would fall forward for another yard or two.
Right. Yep. A lot of leak yardage going on.
Exactly. So ultimately, we got beat really by our own game plan. We got beat up, and our linebackers are light in the butt. And it never fails that for some reason, being confident is one thing. Being arrogant is another. And I think there is a great deal of arrogance. And I don't know where it comes from. It's all over the media about the Shanahans, about Jimmy. I mean, they're praising him during the broadcast. Oh, Kyle Shanahan's an offensive genius. And look at Jimmy Garoppolo's release. I'm like, are you guys getting paid to say this stuff? Really? Shanahan's good at 2 things. He's good at coaching staff. He's really good at that. He's elite. But he's also elite at getting players injured because they're not prepared to play football. I don't know how we fix that. I really don't. But I will say this. If I was playing the 49ers, I would do exactly what everybody else does or what Atlanta did. Put 8, 9 guys in a box, make Jimmy G beat you. That's how you beat the 49ers. And the 49ers, whether they realize it or not, they're going to have to throw their way out of that. You got to throw your way out. You're not going to be able to just keep running people into brick walls and expect to stay healthy for a longer season. Now, they match up better with the Chiefs than they do with Atlanta. So, yeah, they still have a chance, but come on. I mean, did Kittle look like he was in midseason form, ready to play? Did Debo? I saw a lot of people sucking wind yesterday, Croc.
Yeah.
Okay, and our old receiver who went over to New England, from the comment he made a couple of years ago, he says, "Oh, we practice way harder here in New England than we did at San Francisco."
Right, and that was Kendrick Bourne.
Kendrick Bourne said that, exactly. So they have off-season stuff to fix. Kyle Shanahan has philosophical things to fix, but he's here, and he ain't going nowhere. He's got a 6-year contract, appearance on the Super Bowl, and appearance at NFC Championship, and he has an excuse for why he doesn't go, and that's injuries. But if he ever wants to win one, he's going to have to get better at leadership, and he's going to have to get better at preparing his team to play a very, very violent sport, which right now, if they're not the bully, they're in trouble. And we all know, you come from, I'm from Detroit originally. The best way to handle a bully is to punch a bully right in his nose. Let him know he's in for a fight. That's what happened to us yesterday. Is that going to continue to matriculate through the NFL? We'll find out, because right now, we know what Jimmy is. And I'm not blaming Jimmy G for that loss. I thought we saw a better version of Jimmy G yesterday. Right? We did see a better version of him yesterday. But he's not that quarterback that's going to say, that like you said about Josh Allen. Oh, interception, fumble, that's okay. Woof, woof, woof. That's not Jimmy, right?
And I don't think that's the expectation. I think it's just when watching it, that is something that comes to mind where it's like, God, I get it. Like everybody misses a throw. Everybody has that, but it's like, dang, Jimmy, like you kind of can't. You can't. Or not just him. Like, oh man, the drop. Like every team has drops, but it's like 49ers. You kind of can't.
Exactly.
That's tough.
Because the opportunities aren't people and everybody else's, but there, like you said, there has to be a paradigm shift. I don't know how they quote unquote fix this, how you fix injuries at this point in the season, but it's very similar to last year, where I think that we'll get healthy, we'll get in football shape, and we'll be more competitive during November and December, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, Papa Dragon Man, I appreciate you coming on. We gotta get out of here.
Yes, sir. I'll let you get to it, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Croc. We're out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, please like, subscribe. From what I'm told, it helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. So make sure if you can, like and subscribe. I do got some super chats here, so I've been meaning to get to, but 7.2 second half points this season. That's 26th. 26th. Yeah, one of those scores was a pick six. That's tough, right? That's tough. Got to get more out of your offense in the second half. I don't know, man. The scary thing is the offensive line: Jimmy Garoppolo, Debo, Ayuk, Kittle play good, and we only mustered up 14 points. That's one of the wildest things, because you look at, especially on the box score, right? Like you look at the box score, and you do see, like, hey man, it looks like a lot of guys had a good game in the box score, but somehow that didn't translate to a win. I mean, it didn't translate to much of anything. And now I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. But I like the target share with Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo Samuel. Need more of that. Now, Jimmy has to throw 41 times to get those guys that many targets, but I like that. Get those guys to rock. All right, here we go. ATL showed how to run a mobile quarterback. He did. And, I mean, did we see Mariota run any designed runs up the middle? I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I saw a lot of, hey man, like, if you crash, like I'll pull. And then obviously the scramble up the middle, huge third down run that he got. But yeah, you didn't see the designed QB dives. Did not. Here we go. We got Adam here. Adam Paul. You got two first names. I hate to say it, but the 49ers are made of glass. The defense will be on the field and somehow an offensive player will get. You're not wrong, man. You ain't wrong. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I have no idea what it is. To the extent, this is a team that was having this issue, so they fired an entire training staff, overhauled the entire thing, and still is the most injured team in the NFL. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. Hold on, I'll get to that one in a second. Atlanta played ahead of the sticks all game. They did, and I thought they did a terrific job. A terrific job of. I feel like they maybe had one third down that was longer than like 8 yards, and it was like I'm probably exaggerating, but it felt like watching the game outside of the one where Mariota ran for a first down. Felt like every third down was 3rd and 2, and you just have to cross your fingers at the 49ers, And then it was like, oop, they barely get it. Golly. That was a very ideal situation for a quarterback. And part of that, you don't have Nick Bosa. He makes such a huge difference. And it was very clear. I think I saw something that said the 49ers had 3 pressures on the entire day. 3. And if you go back to like, not the last game the 49ers played, but the last full game that Nick Bosa played, he had like 15 pressures by himself. Right? Like that's moving quarterback. When you talk about Mariota completed 13 out of 14 passes. He had one incompletion. And a lot of that has to do with not being moved off of your spot. And that's Nick Bosa. Need him back. All right. Yes, need to install a hurry-up offense because we look lost down 14 with 6 minutes left. I'll say this. All teams definitely have a hurry-up offense. All teams. They definitely have a hurry-up offense. But one thing the 49ers never do is they don't really play with, like, pace. They don't run that, like, up-tempo offense. I've been asking for it. If you listen to Locked On 49ers, I asked for it. Where's the hurry-up offense? I talked about it last year, and I've just kind of accepted it. But I'm at the game watching it with my brother, and I'm like, bro, where's the up-tempo? Man, you pick up 9 yards. Let's go. Let's get on the ball. And then I'm watching in the NFL last night, and I see, it happening in the Cowboys-Eagles game. And it's just like, man, it simplifies things. It makes the defense have to play a definitely more simplistic defense. They got to make quick decisions right now, man. You get on the ball. Run for that 1 yard. Maybe it tires out the defensive line. Like, there's all kinds of things you could do, and they just don't do it. They just don't. They don't. That's the one thing where I'm like, all right, God, can we do a little up-tempo? One thing I know about this team is that it's grossly inconsistent. Watch us win the next week, and we'll be talking Super Bowl again. We will. Now, is that the team inconsistent, or is that the fan base inconsistent? Right? And I listen, I strongly believe 49ers will figure it out. But the offense is probably a bigger worry of mine than I've had in years past, for whatever reasons. And they've had to deal with injuries to the offense before. They've been able to overcome it. Right now, I feel like you are healthy enough with your big dogs. Again, the offensive line played well. You got the big dogs that you can get the ball to, including Kyle Juszczyk. And you got 14 points. I don't know. That's terrible. That's terrible. That was this one. All right, here we go. Then we got Nate. He says, Nate, you see them dogs? Jets won. Where's Jets? 4-2? Jets 4-2 right now. Right before we went live, I had one of my homeboys. He's a Jets fan. Which outside of Jets gang in here, and Jets gang actually came on the show one time. But outside of Jets gang, it's like, are there Jets fans out there, or is it like But no, there's really Jets fans. My homeboy's a Jets fan. Y'all like, Croc, you were on the Jets. I know. I spent a little time there. Croc, there's a pill where you can make. There is this pill we can take to make it bigger. So why not at Rodgers? He can be our pill. Wild. That must be why these little bots are in here right now. How do I get rid of that? Anyways, let me hide it. There we go. Boom. Block user. All right, y'all, man. I gotta go pick up my daughter. I appreciate everybody that tuned in today. Obviously, we came on much later than usual, but again, I got off a flight, got home, set up the time to come on. I actually wasn't gonna come on that first time. Like, nah, let's talk, let's vent, and maybe we feel better about it tomorrow. Maybe we feel better. Doesn't feel better knowing you play Kansas City, but hey, man, whatever. Go Niners. Again, everybody that was in Atlanta. Man, I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all the support. It's really dope. People coming up to me, telling me that they love the morning show, telling me they love Locked On 49ers. It's dope. Buying me drinks, all that stuff, man. It was dope. The toughest thing was obviously the loss. So, but appreciate everybody, man. If you haven't already, man, we've had like 400 people in here at a time. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help your boy out. Crocky, going to the Chiefs game. I might, I don't know. I will be in Stockton. I got to go to Stockton for something. My daughter got something on that Friday. Then I got a event that I'm a part of on Saturday. So I'm be near. So I might as well drive an hour to San Jose, go to that game. We'll see. I don't know. I do go to games, but I don't go to games to actually like what I go for kind of like the experience, being out, like being around fans, the interaction, going out in Atlanta, went to the strip club, you know what I'm saying, dancing for them dollars, all that stuff. I go to experience just something a little different because when I'm home here, Arkansas, I ain't got nobody that I watch this stuff. I don't watch 49ers with people and stuff. I am hoping one day, and I got a lot of different things going on. First, I got to get this gym, booming, but I do hope that one day I open up my own sports bar, and that'll be dope because then people come in and watch games and stuff like that. So that I am hoping I get to do. But all right, man, I appreciate everybody in here, man, and we'll be back tomorrow, normal time. And it sucks. A lot of people are like, Croc, man, like, I love the show. I listen to you on the way to work, and it is tough because I know I changed the time, so 9 a.m. I don't know if y'all on the way to work then, but it just helps me a little bit more. But all right, y'all, man. See y'all tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Till then, I'm out. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Eric Roger over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown.
Crop Talk TV podcast. Peace.